So I work for a people supply chain company. We've hired somebody every 5 minutes for the last 5 years, but we have only hired 5% of the children who came to us for a job. So we can talk about skills, but I think in a summit like this, you need to step back even further. The most interesting questions of all times for policymakers and politicians is why are countries or why are states poor? You know, I went for my MBA to the US in 1994, in August 1994, and by September I was asking myself, these Americans aren't smarter than us, why are they richer than us? I think that's an interesting question to ask yourself in Punjab, right? Why are 9 million Punjabis outside Punjab or India so much more productive or have higher incomes than people in Punjab? And I think that's finally the objective of public policy, because poverty is about productivity, and productivity is about the 3 E's of education, employment, and employability. I think if you take the longer view, the most interesting debates of the Constituent Assembly, there were 299 people between December 1946 and December 1949 who wrote our Constitution, were between the fundamental rights and the directive principles of the Constitution. The fundamental rights were about political democracy, and the directive principles were about economic and social democracy. I think we've done a great job on political democracy, but economic and social democracy is about skills and it is about jobs. And so when you think about economic and social democracy, there are 5 geographies of work which Punjab needs to think about and is already thinking about. One is the physical geography of work, right? Do you take jobs to people or people to jobs? India only has 50 cities with more than 1 million people. China has 400. Punjab has 4. Hopefully you'll have 10. The other is the sectoral geography of work. Only 11% of India works in manufacturing. Punjab has a higher average than that. But 50% of India works in agriculture. Punjab has a better average than that. The other is the enterprise geography of work, which is the ease of doing business and the formalization. India has 63 million enterprises, but only 14,500 companies with a paid-up capital of more than 10 crores. So 63 million. India is largely informal in terms of enterprise, and ease of doing business makes you much more formal. I think the education geography of work at an India level is a tragedy. 265 lakh kids take the class 10th exam every year, 105 lakh fail. 160 lakh kids take the class 12th exam, 80 lakh fail. And of the 80 lakh who pass class 12, 50 lakh go to college. I think Punjab is a better average than that at class 10 and 12. And I think, but thinking about the Right to Education Act becoming the Right to Learning Act, which some work has begun in Punjab, is obviously a big move. So my submission is, Ricardo Hosman he's a professor of government at Harvard. He says economic complexity is the best way to predict economic success for a state. Punjab actually has much more and much higher economic complexity than other states. Grow in Punjab happened before many other states. Make in Punjab obviously happened before many other states. And now Serve in Punjab is sort of becoming the next wave of development, in addition to obviously strengthening productivity in manufacturing and in agriculture. So there was the gap between, Harvard historian, same guy, he said, the gap between India's ideals and its reality is not a lie, it's a disappointment. It is only because our ideals were very high. So India was a reckless experiment when we started in 1947. Democracies didn't give universal franchise. I mean, women in Switzerland only got to vote in 1971. But my submission is our ideals are very high in Punjab, our ideals are very high in India. The gap will be reduced by the 3 E's of education, employment, and employability. A job and skills and education change lives in a way that no subsidy ever can. So, in an age of cooperative federalism, where there's a unique policy window opened up by 254(2) of the Constitution, which allows states to amend central laws, I think it's a unique opportunity for Punjab to think about making the Right to Education Act, the Right to Learning Act, to think about labor laws, to think about vocational universities, and many other things. So I think the world is sort of watching Punjab, because Punjab is sort of creating what I call the infrastructure of opportunity. Too much discussion in these sort of summits happens around physical infrastructure. But the infrastructure of opportunity is also about skills, it's also about education, it's also about healthcare. And it was wonderful to see some of those panels today. So the world and India are watching Punjab. Good luck and Godspeed.